Hi everyone! Today I would love for you to join us as we go bike riding, and it's a great way for exercise and also have a little adventure. But also in this video I want to tell you about 10 tips to keep you safe and also to keep it fun. So at this point, let's bring Bill into the picture. So whether you're just riding for fun or you're going for exercise, maybe you're even going to work these days.
Yeah, commuting is big nowadays everywhere.
Or just having some fun. Like that's what we really go for, is just to have some fun. But when Bill and I first met, it wasn't always like that. I remember Bill was like this, I need the what's the saying again?
I feel the need for speed.
Yeah, he was that guy. And he'd be like, gone, and I'd still be pedaling. Like, I'm the kind of person that I want to have a little wicker basket on front of my bike. I want to have a picnic lunch inside my bike, or on top the front of my bike.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, that's me. And so, like, he'd be gone, and then I'd sort of catch up to him, and we decided to compromise. I think we just decided to do it my way, right?
Isn't it always the case?
No, actually, what I did, every time I see that there's a big run ahead of us, I say, okay, go. And he's like, "Wah," and he's gone. And then I just sort of leisurely catch up to you. But you get that sort of thing out of your system, right?
I got a little need for speed, but I mean, I'm not going like some racer. It's just I have a quicker or a faster pace than Heather does. But so when I'm riding my bike with Heather, you know, it's going to be a ride for the two of us. If I'm riding with some friends, it might be a little faster, not super fast, but you know, you adapt to your surroundings.
And that's a really good point. I think that we're going to make those the first 2 points, is know to ride at your own pace. Right. And then the second thing is know to ride at your own distance, because you've had some friends show up with those, like, I don't know, they're like superhero outfits. They're all elastic.
Tour de France type outfits, you know?
And they're like, okay, Bill, let's go bike riding. And poor Bill, he comes back, he's half dead. Poor Bill, he's half dead when he gets back, and he's like, oh, I'm not doing that again. But you know what? You got to know your pace. You really do. And we're going to tell you about 10 tips here, but really there's got to be about 100 of them.
At least.
So if you are watching this and going, you know what, I want to get a bike, I want to start bike riding, please watch a whole bunch of videos, go to a bike shop, get a good bike, get it tuned up, and let's get going with the video. All right, so the third really, really important point is get yourself a helmet. You know what? I know a lot of us, especially if we're more mature people, we're used to riding around with the wind blowing in our hair, and it's so wonderful, but our daughter had a really bad accident, and the helmet saved her life. There were witnesses to the accident. She was riding down a city road. She got caught in some groove on the road and fell. Her head hit the ground. It saved her life. She had a broken arm, Bill, broken elbow, other things as well. But she was safe and she was healthy. And right after that, Bill and I said, you know what are we doing? You know, we got to look after ourselves. So we both invested in the helmets, and these helmets, you have to fit them, make sure that they're the right size and everything. And again, a bike shop will help you with that.
All right, so number 4, I believe we're at. It's kind of a combination here, but the first part is your bike seat. You have to make sure that the seat is adjusted so that it's the right height. I see too many people riding their bikes and their seat is so low that their knees are actually up, and you're putting too much pressure on the knees. So what you want to do is have the seat really high so there's less stress on the knees. A buddy of mine who's one of those guys that wears those jerseys, he taught me that, and it made a big difference on my knee. And just the other part of number 4.
Can I just interrupt for a second?
Sure.
In case people are confused about that, go to a bike shop. They know that kind of thing for your size, right?
Go with the pros. They'll tell you how to do everything.
Yeah,
the correct frame, everything.
Fix it up right, and then you're good to go.
And the other thing, just to make sure before you head out on that little bike ride or that commute, is make sure the tires are pumped up. I pumped these up before we started filming this video, and you need really, really solid tires. I'm not sure the PSI is supposed to be, but as long as they feel like they're really hard, you're good to go.
So Bill, are we ready to go?
I think we're ready. We went through our checks like we just showed you, and I've got the water in my backpack.
Yeah, what else do you have in your backpack?
Can't tell you that, Heather. It's a secret.
Some extra sunscreen. I sometimes put things in the backpack for you. So, okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
So we're all set.
Yeah.
We'll see you out on the trails, guys.
Yeah, we start off on the streets, of course, but you know, safety first. We got to be really, really careful when we're riding, and come along and join us. So there are lots and lots of bike paths along the way, and as you can see, we picked out one. I think number 5 is pick out your route, know where you're going. Very important.
Here comes Heather.
So another thing to go with at number 5 is if you're biking alone,
Right.
let people know where you're going, especially if you're gone out. No, I'm not even kidding.
No, I believe you. It's like flying a plane. File a flight pattern.
So we just, we're on a bike path, as you can see, people riding on the bike path. There also are crossovers since we're in the middle of the city for cars and that sort of thing. But just around the corner from where we live, there's a lake, there's a lovely park here. Now, what about number 6? Now, number 6, I just want to show you over here, which I think is really, really important, is get a bike with some gears. You're going to see as we're riding along that, Bill, if you want to sort of grab things here, this particular bike has, is it a 10-speed or a 5-speed?
18.
Oh, 18, wow. Okay, you rock there, Bill. He's got an 18 speed, and when you start hitting the hills or going down the hills, again, learn from a bike shop or something like that, some professional. These are really fantastic. Now, the other thing we've already had to use right now, and this would be number 7, is the bell. So many people walk along the bike trails. I don't know, they think that they're made for people to walk dogs or whatever. And when you are coming along and you're going at a speed and all of a sudden there's a person walking on the bike trail, you got to ring that bell, or even if you want to pass somebody going a little bit slower on a bike or whatever. So don't forget your bike bell.
Well, we're on our bike ride now, and you know, there's just a lot of things to see out in the city. Canoeing or kayaking, and I guess I'm forgetting about Heather. Where's Heather? Where's Heather? Where's my bike? There she is. All right, let's go.
So Bill feels the need for speed right now, and there he goes. All right, so we stopped to have a bite to eat, but it seems like we were just riding for a few minutes. Truth be told,
A Heather ride.
well, it's not just that we had to do the intro and everything, and then it got to be at 2 o'clock and we only had breakfast. So yes, we are having our food now, but a really good important thing to remember when you're riding is make sure that you do stop if you're going for a long day. People need about 2,000 calories a day. So you not only, I think this would be number 8, make sure you've got lots and lots of water. You have to stay hydrated, and also make sure you are eating something.
I like that part.
You know, maybe a light carb kind of thing. You don't want to fill up on a steak or anything like that, but it's really, really important that you're not riding your bike dehydrated and dizzy from not eating. That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Ready to chow down now, baby?
Yeah, let's chow down and then on to the next part.
So when Bill and I looked at these paths, we really, really studied where the nicest ones are. Isn't this a beautiful, beautiful path? There's so many trees. It's gorgeous. So on the back of my bike, I've got a little pouch. All right, so in the back of my bike pouch, I have this little, it's kind of like a change purse. And in here, I would suggest have some ID. If you have a health plan or something, you know, have your little health card that you need. Like I told you before about my daughter, when she fell, I mean, good thing she had her health card or her health information with her, and they knew who she was. So as I mentioned before, I'm kind of destination bike rider, and what I like to do is find a really cool place to go. Love and peace, everyone. Those are all made with little locks. It's actually kind of like art, so let's take a real close look here. Wow. It's a lock. All right, so at the destination here, this is my favorite. This is awesome. This is my favorite coffee shop. I don't know if we're gonna get a coffee or maybe we're going to get a cold drink, but right around the corner here, if I could excuse myself, is the most fantastic little, absolutely, can you see the beating up of the water here? Great little cold water place, and I'm just going to get myself some water. I just love all these little places that you can find, and obviously I'm not the only one. All right, so we're gonna call this part of the video baristas and bicycles. I'm looking at this old clock here, and it reminds me of the old clocks in my public school. And I used to just wait till 3:30. So we thought we would take our coffees out here because it's such, like I said, it's such a beautiful day. And look at all the people up there, Bill. So even though I made you go to destinations and all that stuff, did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was pretty good. We got some bike riding in, believe it or not.
And we still have to go all the way back too. So
That's true. We get to go along the lake. We've had some nice coffee, some cold water, some little desserts.
So we've been riding a little bit in the city, and we take a different route home. As you can see, let me see if I can get this. Very scenic. There's the water line. We're going to be going into a bit of a forested part. That's why we don't have the bikes with just the sort of pavement tires. We make sure they've got a little bit more of a mountain bike because I've been riding quite a bit on some terrain today, mister. It's all fun. We're having some good exercise and having some fun too. Number 10 is, there's Bill in the background. Always know your time, folks. Don't ride your bike at night. And if you are going to ride your bike at night, I mean, you really, you know, when they say don't ride your bike at night, if you are, make sure that you have a light on your bike. We don't have lights on our bike because I got a translator in the back here, you nut. Anyway, so no, we don't have lights on our bike, and it's only like 5 o'clock. Know when the sun's going to set, and yeah, if you need a light, get one.
Next stop, home.
Oh, right. Next stop, home. All right, back home again. That was fun. But you can notice that we just sort of went on the streets with our bikes from home. We found some trails. But I've got to tell you about our latest purchase. It's the amazing Zizzo fold-up bikes. Now we don't have to worry about clumsy bike racks and securing our bikes to the car. When folded, 2 of these Zizzo bikes fit in our trunk and even in our back seat. We even got 2 of them in our back seat. And I'll have the info for these under the video description and also in the comments. And they're only around $300 each and made in America. Now it's so easy to bring our bikes to enchanting small towns or visit friends who also like to bike ride. And here are them both extended. These are fabulous. And by the way, if you like lifestyle videos like these and healthy inspired videos, and I even do some heart-to-heart chats that a lot of us experience, you know, these moments and these situations on our aging journey, there is a button down there to subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell. And thank you so much for being here. You know, it's our mission with this channel to help you make the rest of your life the best of your life. And as we're on the aging journey, we hope to inspire you with health ideas, hope, and of course happiness. And that's so important, right? So until we meet again next time, keep inspired, keep empowered, and I'll see you next week.